everybody. This is Rachel with the Leonardo and Leonardo at Home with
Mr. Trent.
Oh, we're so excited you are here with us today. Thank you for coming to do a really fun science experiment. Today we are going to talk about two really fun forces. I know. Should I tell you about them now?
Tell me.
All right, first one is gravity. And gravity, when I say it, I like to put my hands up like this. Gravity pulls. Gravity
Pull.
Oh, it pulls everything down, including you and me, and that's why we are not floating in space right this second. I know. I couldn't do it. I would be seasick.
Yes.
Another thing that's helping us out, not right this second, but something that you absolutely have experienced, I like to put my hands like this, and I call it air resistance.
Air resistance.
And air resistance pushes things up while gravity pulls them down, and we are going to play around with those two forces in opposition today. But first, we are going to do a quick mini experiment.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so when we are looking at these two objects, this right here is a stress ball.
Very useful right now.
Very useful. I need maybe 5 more of those.
Definitely.
One for hands and toes. I'm just kidding. This stress ball though is really lightweight, right? It has air inside of it that you can squeeze out of it. It's the whole purpose of it.
Okay.
Compare it to my geometry textbook.
A lot heavier than all this knowledge that we find in here.
Oh.
It's obviously square and it's bigger.
The weight of paper, the weight of knowledge.
Yes.
Together, they are heavier than this nice light ball.
Totally.
So when I look at these two objects, I would like everyone to make a prediction. Guess. Which do you think, if I drop these at the exact same time, which do you think will hit the table first?
Oh, easy. It's going to be the book.
Why do you think that?
It's heavier.
It's heavier. It has more weight. Maybe the gravity will be affected by it more.
Maybe.
Why do you think that the ball wouldn't fall as fast?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's very heavy. So why is it going to fall at the same time?
All right, let's find out. All right, Mr. Trent, I'm going to drop both of these. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. What did you see?
That looked like it was almost the same time.
Ooh, okay, well in science, we don't just do things once. We have to do it again and again to make sure that it's true and replicable. So let's try it again. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Same time.
At the same time. That's because gravity is affecting both of them equally. And so they're hitting the table at the exact same time.
Huh.
Now, I wonder how this compares to something that has a different composition.
A feather.
A feather. What is this? Tell me about it.
Well, I know that they're used to make birds fly. It's really light, very fluffy, and it's pink, just like my shirt.
And mine.
Yep.
It's a beautiful color. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? Now, I don't know if I can compare it to the book because the book, pretty heavy. The ball, not as heavy. Even though they hit the ground at the exact same time, what do you think would happen with these two?
They're both going to hit at the same time.
All right, let's find out. It's a good prediction.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Huh.
The ball was a lot faster.
Okay, now this time, we're gonna do it again, but I want you to observe the feather. Not just watching the table to see what happens when they hit, but watch how the feather falls.
Okay.
What do you see?
It looks like it's like slowing down, whereas this one has a steady pace all the way down. This one sort of floats and kind of twirls down.
It floats and twirls, absolutely. The composition is a little different, and actually in this case, air resistance is affecting the feather differently than how it affected our ball. Our ball doesn't have a lot of surface area that can be affected by air resistance. It's circular, you know, it's a sphere. It's a sphere. It has it's solid, it's complete. And gravity is more of a strong force that affects it than our feather.
And you mentioned that air resistance pushes up, and it seems like that has more to catch.
It does. And this surface area on the top, it catches the air, and that's why we see it float
Kind of slows it
down.
down.
Yeah. So air resistance is pushing up, while gravity is pulling everything down.
Nice.
This concept is one we use in science.
Ooh. Rachel, this looks like a parachute,
It is.
but it looks like it was drawn a really long time ago, maybe even on a cave.
You know what? It wasn't drawn by a cave. It was a notebook by a very famous artist, painter, inventor, fantastic Renaissance
Was
man.
that Leonardo da Vinci?
It was Leonardo da Vinci. This is the way that he conceptualized flying in one of the ways. He noticed that air resistance pulled things like feathers down a little bit differently, and they kind of floated instead of just falling straight. He took his observations of different things in nature, including feathers or leaves or other natural things that kind of float, He looked at the way that they fell and conceptualized this. Now, our parachutes don't look like this. No, they're triangular. They're a lot more round.
Yeah.
But we are gonna make our very own parachute today that you can follow along with and make at home.
Can I jump off like my house with it?
It's not something you can use. It's something that you can, it's a prototype. So if you could find enough material and if you could find enough of this that would hold you up and your parent says it's okay, or your caregiver, then absolutely give it a shot. But for today, we're gonna make something that our little friend Leonardo da Vinci can fly on. And instead of using a really cute little Leonardo da Vinci, feel free to use one of your school pictures at home. I would love to see you floating and flying with our parachutes.
A little mini parachute.
All right, so to make our parachute, we are gonna use a couple of different materials. One of the materials that we are gonna use is a plastic. And for us, we have this really cool ripstop nylon. This is the same kind of stuff that people use when they are actually parachuting.
That's awesome.
Can you describe it?
It's really durable. Like I'm pulling at the corners and it's not ripping at all.
That's because we have to use it in times when we're trying to save our own lives or if we're trying to float. So this is something we're gonna use. If you are at home and you don't have ripstop nylon, another thing that you could do that's really awesome and a fun way to do it is you could use this gallon Ziploc bag.
Oh, nice. And just kind of like cut off like a circle in the middle.
Yeah, just cut the circle out of the middle. You don't need both sides, you can make two. So it will be really fun.
Cool.
All right, another thing that you're going to need is one paper clip for every single one of your parachutes, as well as 4 different pieces of string. Ours are about 4 inches. Okay, the last thing you're going to need is a little bit of Scotch tape.
Perfect.
So we've got our tape, we've got our strings. What we're gonna do is we are going to lay our parachute flat, and then you're going to add 4 strings, and they're gonna go in the same places as north, south, east, and west. So it's kind of like a compass.
I love that.
Then what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna tape down our strings, and the closer you can get them to the edge, the better. We're making a parachute, so our parachutes don't usually originate from the middle. They have their strings attached at the edge.
That's right. And then those are gonna be kind of attached to the very middle somehow.
Yes, we will bring them all together.
Nice.
We're using Scotch tape. If you don't have Scotch tape, you can try it with a different kind of tape. Let us know how it goes.
I wonder if maybe they could even try like different materials too. Like if maybe you try using longer strings or shorter strings.
Ooh, I would love that.
I wonder what kind of different results you might come up with.
Try it out. Let us know. Leave a comment or a picture or both. We would love to see what you try and what you do.
Oh, I love science at home.
Me too. Okay, so we've got our little parachutes.
Okay.
I like
a little jellyfish.
It is. I like to put it on my head at this point. It's kind of fun. All right, so our next step is that we have to bring all of these together. So the way that you can do this at home is you're gonna have one hand and that's your pinching hand.
Pinch.
Pinch. Now, you're going to use your other hand and you're going to bring the strings up one at a time and you're gonna pinch them in your pinching hand. You'll notice that I'm keeping the side that I didn't tape on the outside. Perfect. Last one. Perfect. Okay, now you'll notice that parachute shape, just upside down. The way that we're gonna connect all 3 of these together is another piece of tape. And all four of them together.
Kind of like bunching them together, kind of like what your shoelace looks like at the end.
Yep.
Perfect.
Excellent. All right. Now I like to have a little fun and test it out because, you know, it's not just about the end result, it's about everything in between. Give it a fly.
Oh, but it turns upside down.
It flops. Why do you think it flops upside down?
I think it needs more weight. It needs something to actually be attached to it.
Ah, that's where our friend Leonardo, or your school picture, comes in handy.
All right.
So we're gonna take our paper clip, and that's how we connect it all. The paper clip is gonna go in between. So you'll notice there's 4 strings.
Okay.
We're gonna put it on half. So we're gonna put it on 2 of the strings.
Ah, okay. So just on 2, place it through.
Yep, just like this.
Oh, and it's sort of like it's like in the middle of it.
Yes, it should be right in the middle. Perfect. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our cute little picture of Leonardo or yourself. All right, we're gonna give it a shot. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Geronimo! Ooh, floated.
He
A
did.
little bit higher. Oh!
All right, Mr. Trent, just for a review.
Okay.
When he is coming towards the ground, what's pulling him down?
Gravity pull.
Gravity pulls. And what's holding him back up?
Air resistance.
Air resistance is pushing him back up, and these 2 forces counteract each other in nature to give us such wonderful things like leaves falling in the fall, seeds that go blowing in the spring, other different things that happen that you can observe. If you see any of those things, show us, leave us a picture, a comment, anything like that. But Mr. Trent, I think we should go take these and drop them off the top of a staircase.
Let's go.
All right.